15 degrees, you can see your breath. Out here in the lake effect, breaking tables like it's poetry. Where else would you rather be? Pinto, Ron, Elvis, and the Lay Poncho. The members that you need to know. 'Cause once you out here now, your family. Where else would you rather be? Where else would you rather be?
Welcome into the Nickel City Crew. I am your host, Rob Crippen. Please like us on Facebook and follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Nickel City Crew. This episode, along with all of our episodes, are presented by Crippen Legacy Entertainment here on Spreaker and StreamYard. We're so glad that you're joining us for some of your Buffalo Bills and NFL content again today. And as always, these are my Bills thoughts said out loud.
It's a vibe so ridiculous. Since 12 plus 83 was 6. The shout rocking like a symphony. Where else would you rather be?
All right, let's get straight to it. Really excited for tonight's episode. I mean, words really, they're just not adequate enough for the time that I had last weekend hosting my co-host down here in Charlotte where I am. And it was absolutely epic. It went perfect. And we want to take you on the ride with us and kind of recap it before we get to Bills Chiefs. Joining me tonight, as always, my co-host, Riding Shotgun, Adam Dump Truck Rupsick. Check him out on Instagram and Twitter at Adam Rupsick, RUPCZYK. Holla at the crew, DT. What's good, man? I mean, I feels like I just saw you.
Nickel City. We just left the Crippen residence, and what a weekend it was. What's up, Nickel City? Happy Friday, happy Halloween to everyone out there. Rob, we're back, right? A couple days later, and I sat in that same chair as we'll get into tonight. But nice little spot, and had a great weekend. Thanks again for hosting. Bills get back in the win column, and we had a hell of a weekend. Nickel City did it right. Charlotte did it right. Can't wait to dig in. Let's go. Happy Halloween.
Yeah, man. Happy Halloween to you guys for sure. All the trick-or-treaters out there, have some fun, get some candy tonight, and be safe, out there driving. Listen, I mean, it was crazy. I guess we should just take them down from, I mean, you had to come to me, so we'll take them from your perspective. And then obviously when we met up Friday night, but DT, it was an awesome weekend, and it started out, and I could just tell the vibes were going to be great from when I came to pick you up. And it really just didn't quit. But tell the audience how you got here. Obviously, you flew down, and what your travel plans were and stuff like that, and then we'll kind of go to where we linked up that night.
Yeah, sure. So we had a Friday flight. You know, going back, maybe would have picked a earlier flight. You know, I don't like getting into places that, not that it was late, but I think it was a 4:30 flight. We're supposed to get there at 6:30. Our flight actually got delayed out until 6:30 from Buffalo, so we weren't wheels down in CLT till almost 8:39. But it was good. The vibe as soon as we got in the airport. Bills fans everywhere. Bills fans ready to go down to Charlotte to enjoy the weekend. And the flight was packed. All Bills fans. The vibes were high. You could just tell everyone was ready to get after it for the weekend. We land. We go right to this place, Horseshoe, right downtown Charlotte. On where's that, Mint, Rob? On Mint. Okay. Yeah. So we're downtown Charlotte on Mint. The Horseshoe, Queen City Vintage sponsored the show. Was there, had a pop up. They were there all week. Well, not there, but in the vicinity all weekend. Saw Nick and the boys down there. Had a few again. That was all Bills people. Pinto Ron was there, the whole nine. They had a live music playing. The girl was a country singer, but she was from Depew. Bought some cool prints to commemorate the weekend. As I don't know where they are though. maybe you know where yours are, but
I can't
find mine. But yeah, bought some prints until Rob came and picked us up from the Horseshoe.
Yeah, man. Well, I got there. I had Nate's birthday party, so His 12th birthday party was at a trampoline park, and it had a basketball court, and stuff like that. So we went out there, and he was talking big junk. So I had to go and show him and his boys a little bit about how it's done. He was like, "Oh, I'm gonna dunk on you, Dad," and this and that. So I was like, "Okay, let's get out on this court. Let me show you what's up." After I dunked on those guys about 3 times, I could tell Nate was getting frustrated. I was like, "You know what? This is your party. It's your birthday. I'm not gonna keep dunking on you. I'll go play with the other kids." So we had a good time though. I had all my babies there, and they had a great time. And then, yeah, by around 9 o'clock or so, I was getting texted by Olivia. She texted me where you guys were at, and I was like, "I'm on my way." When I got downtown, DT, or uptown, they call it here in Charlotte, Bill's Mafia was represented from the first corner that I got off the highway, off the 277. I got off, and it was like Mafia spot after just lit up, and it was nighttime, but you could tell that the Mafia was out. When I got on Mint and turned down, all of these bars were just full of Bills fans, and I could not believe that I could believe it, but we had taken over so quickly. It's only Friday. I find the horseshoe, I find some parking, and I walk down to you, and like you said, Nick had a pop-up there. It was crazy. When I went in there to get a drink, it was, Mafia everywhere. It was crazy because the fact that, I knew that we've got a lot of Bills Mafia down here in Charlotte. I didn't know how many were actually going to make the travel plans to come down. We did not. We'll talk about that more with the Sunday venue, but it was from Friday on. From Friday on, I could tell that the vibes were about to be crazy. I just knew that the Bills Mafia was showing up, and they showed out. DT, they showed out
everywhere. And what Bills Mafia likes to do, and everyone knows this, is, it's not like, hey, I'm a Bills fan and, I'm down here. It's, I'm wearing my jersey, I'm wearing my Zuba pants, I'm wearing my hat, I'm wearing, like, you can't mistake it. So it's easy to spot them, but it was literally everybody. So it was good atmosphere. Like that place, didn't stay too long, which was, we didn't need to, ripped up back to Casa de la Crippen up in North Charlotte, Cornelius area. Nice pad. Rob's got a nice corner house. The first thing I notice, we come around the corner and I see the Zuba lights on the side of the house, and we posted that on some of our content this weekend, and I thought that was the coolest thing, man. Like, that it's something so simple, just a little light hooked up to an extension cord, and it illuminates on the whole side of the house. That's Rob's house, baby. It looked great. That thing's awesome.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite Bills possessions for sure. So I lit it up. I was like, I'm gonna light up the house just for them. I know the game's not till Sunday, but I'm gonna light it up. And I wanted to show you guys, roll out the red carpet, roll out the Zuba carpet for you. So we get back here, get everything set up. They got the Airbnb behind my house. And that was cool because you're nice and close. We didn't have to worry about hotels and Ubering and picking you up and all this other stuff. You're right here with me, and that was cool. Listen, we chilled Friday. Saturday morning, I told you I had to get this dub before we go down to tap on the tracks. And gotta go get this dub. Click clack. So shout out to Quincy's team, the Bears. We've got our last game coming up this Saturday, but they really showed out for you, DT. They showed out little bit above and beyond because not only did Quincy get a chance to score, he scored a couple touchdowns. He scored a touchdown on a 2-point conversion. Then the defense, we pitched a shutout. We have not pitched a shutout all year long. Lockdown
85 D. Bears. You guys were the 85 Bears out there. They couldn't move the ball at all. Yeah.
Yeah, man. So shout out to my little I9 Sports Bears, man. They really showed out for me, made me look good in front of Uncle DT because you showed out for sure. And listen, we had a great time. Obviously they picked up a win. I think we won like 28-0 or something like that when the 2-point conversions were all tallied up. And DT, it was time. It was time. Head back to the house, took a quick shower, put on my outfit, and literally, it was time to do it. Tavern on the Tracks. If you don't know, again, it is one of the biggest Bills bars here in Charlotte.
Probably one of the biggest Bills bars out there, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's pretty big, and they show up. And one of the funniest things about it is that on Facebook after the weekend, I just kept seeing all these people, like, in my friends group, and I'm like, they were at Tavern. They were at Tavern. I was like, yo, man, all these cats was at Tavern. I didn't even see, I saw a couple people from Twitter and said what's up to them, that I noticed their faces. But other than that, man, it was just a whirlwind where you're not going to even notice everybody because it was too many people there. Now, when we got there, DT, it was still space and it was still not that bad. DT, it was funny to see how it was like an organism. Those videos they show of like Highmark Stadium or something in the construction and they speed it up and stuff like that.
Time lapse.
That's exactly what it felt like because that place got almost insufferable, DT. Tell them about how many people were there. It was ridiculous, man.
It was, man. That place awesome. I loved it. Lived up to all its hype. I've been hearing about this place for years. You've been telling me everyone I've ever known in Charlotte says, "Oh, Tavern on the Tracks," and we actually got to see it in the flesh. I thought it was a little more out of the city, like a little more
Well, it's right
off
there.
pattern, but
It's
it's
right
right
there.
down in it. It's right down in it. So, yeah, we get in and there was space to move around, which was great. We were able to kind of get established. There was a little like cocktail table set up out in the parking lot. We kind of made our home base with. And we looked for a table. Jokes on us for trying to sit down, thinking we could sit down and have lunch at
Never
this
gonna happen.
place.
Never
Never
gonna
gonna
happen.
happen unless we were there
Mm-mm.
literally when they opened at 10 o'clock. And that's what Nick was telling us at Queen City Vintage. They had another nice, beautiful setup there in the corner with all the other vendors. And he said they were there at 8. They opened the barricades at 10. I said, barricades? It's a bar. Like, what? It's not a Jay-Z concert. Like, what do you mean? Like, and and I know what he meant. As soon as I got there, opened the barricades, and we were able to get that home base and just kind of watch it grow around us. I mean, it was every time you take a drink and you turn around, it'd be a little more people and a little more people until shit. What was it? 5 o'clock, and it was like we can't move it here. So
It was a
the
madhouse.
the
It was
the
a
the
madhouse.
crew started to get a little okay. What are we doing? It's hard to get a drink. Yada yada. So DT and Rob go in for a final mission. Go in the back door of this bar, and it is bananas. Like the inside of the outside
Packed.
was shoulder to shoulder. The inside is insano.
It's packed.
And
You could barely walk. You could
Nickel
barely even
City,
walk.
Nickel City. I know most of you know me. I ain't no little boy out here, okay? And shoulder to shoulder is not what I do best. So we made business decisions in there, and I said, Rob, we're going bulk. We're going Sam's Club. We're going Costco. We're going BJ's. All the bulk
Wholesale.
places. We're going wholesale. Like I'm not coming back up here for single
Lord
drinks,
have
whatever it
mercy.
is. We got to make plays. Defense is coming. We see the blitz. We got to throw this quick out route and make a play. So you kind of had my back in the background. I bellied up. Finally got a place to the bar. Guy next to me is like kind of got in. I missed my spot, and I'm like, damn, he got in front of me. So I just took action. I said, "What are you drinking?" He says, "One Bacardi and soda, just one Bacardi and soda." I said, "All right, well, you're joining in on the fucking wholesale order then, because we're not messing around with one drink. You got to get it, pay your tab. She comes to me. We're doing it all at once. So what we did, I wrote it all out on my phone, the name of the tab, all that stuff, put it out, showed her when she came because you couldn't even hear, you couldn't move, and we bulked it up, man. Got a bunch of buckets. We had buckets of blues, buckets of seltzers, buckets of Surfsides. So
Seltzers,
whatever
yeah.
people want, we got it in these buckets. And Rob and I
And we
came
had at
out like
least we had at least 6 or
we
8,
were
right? At
fetching
least.
water for a bath, with all these buckets. Walk out, get to our place, boom, put them down. Didn't take long to realize we got way too much, Rob. We got way too much, man. There's no way at this point in the day we're gonna be able to pound all this. Even if we are professional Crazy Bills Mafia, it's gonna be a lot. So what did we do as businessmen like we were? We started peddling right in probably definitely illegal Tavern on the Tracks. If you're listening, well, no, screw off. You got us for enough. You got the wallet for enough that day. Like we had to make some back. So people were walking by, we scouting them out. I said, you don't want to go in there. You ain't gonna get a drink in there. It's gonna be brutal in there. You come
DT
back.
said, "Don't go in there. You're not gonna come back
Yep.
out. Don't come
No,
in.
you ain't
Don't
gonna
go in
come
there."
back out. So we got a bucket here. Whatever you want, you come find me, and we'll see what we can do business wise. First guy comes up with his wife, and he's like, "Yeah, whatever." Walks by me. 10 minutes later, he's back. All right, what do you got? What do you got? Gave him a nice blue bucket, and
Yeah.
then what really came up on these, we caught these, catch the youngsters, you manipulate them a little bit. And they say, yeah, you're right, man. We can't get anything in there. What do you got? And I said, I got 3 surf sides under here. Said 3 buckets, $100. Kid gave me $100 bill. We kept it moving. And so we at least made some of our hurting back. But we got some wings.
Yep.
We skipped over one of the best parts on Friday night. We went to Al's. And
Oh, Al's. Yes, 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 yes. I got
wow.
this. So I took them to Al's. So listen, Al's is getting ready to be a big part of Nickel City Crew. I
Yo,
talked to the owner on Monday, and we've got some stuff in the works for that as well. Al's, I love their buffalo garlic parm wings. So I go there normally on Thursdays with the Kings. We go out. It's Dollar Wing Night. You guys have heard that on Nickel City Crew before. It's Dollar Wing, man. I work all day. I do the show usually on Thursdays. It was back in the day when we were doing them on Thursdays. Like, listen, I want to give something to my fellas, to my Kings, and give them a treat. So we usually go out for Dollar Wings on Thursdays. They're excellent. So Olivia, DT get there. They're wondering what the best wing is. I'm like, I love buffalo garlic parm. The waiter is like, listen, man, they really are banging. They ask us, no problem. You want them extra crispy? I'm like, yep. They're like, I'm not even going to ask you. You guys want blue cheese because you're from Buffalo? I'm like, yep, they do. Tell them what you thought, DT. Tell them what you thought. You had a hot take.
Al's, where were we at? Cornelius, Huntersville?
Yes.
Where?
Yep, Lake
Cornelius.
Mm-hmm.
Al's, Cornelius, North Carolina. Put this plate of buffalo garlic parm in front of DT, who has been I've been on a wing pilgrimage since I've lived in Buffalo. Wing pilgrimage. Would try a new place every Friday night on the come up in my bachelor days of seeing where the best wings were. And I think my top 10 is pretty darn good, and I put it up against anybody's. Al's, Cornelius, North Carolina. If that wing was served to me in Buffalo, it would be in my top 10, hands down.
Hands down, he said.
Hands down, that wing would be in my top 10. It was amazing. It was good size. It was good crisp. And that flavor, the garlic parm I liked, but then they added that little buffalo to it. It was a nice little extra, like just what it needed. And they were damn good. They were damn good. Top 10, if it's served in Buffalo, and I'm not taking away because it wasn't served in Buffalo. I'm saying if I got that wing in Buffalo.
You're saying it stands up to Duff's. It stands up to whatever you want.
It stands up to some of the greats here. It was one of the best wings I've had. Definitely top 10. I will see about top 5, but definitely top 10. It was an amazing wing. Al's, credit to Al's.
Listen, so shout out to Al's Bar and Grill again. That we've got some stuff working out with them. And we can't wait to really roll out some stuff before the season is out, because I talked to the owner, like I said, on Monday. We'll get to that, but it'll be interesting because it's just funny how things work, and you never even know who you're going to run into. So that was cool. But yeah, so Saturday we sell back some of the proceeds for that tavern dinged us up with by getting some people to buy some buckets. And then DT, what happened after that? Because I was in a good place. I'm a professional tailgater, but I knew that the prize was Sunday, so I was trying to find a way to limit myself and to come back down a little bit. And Olivia had an idea. She's like, listen, it's too crazy in here. Yeah. We're done going in there anymore. Let's go and find another bar, whatever the case may be. They wanted to watch the Sabres game, I think it was.
Sabres Toronto.
Come on. So we walk around. Same thing. It's light out. It's just
every bar, every corner.
Bills bar. I was like, what is going on? Every bar is Bills fans. I never saw one Carolina Panthers like a gathering of a whole bunch of Panthers fans and Kuechly jerseys and Peppers jerseys and Steve Smith, Cam. I'm like, I don't see any jerseys hanging around where they're all congregating together. Bills Mafia, again, shout out to Bills Mafia. You guys really did show out because we took over the Queen City, the other Queen City. So we make our way to another bar. It's a South Carolina Gamecocks backer bar. We went back to Horseshoe, and obviously we couldn't tell. I didn't know that was a South Carolina Gamecocks bar. Not one Sabres TV on at all. Everybody was on that one game for South Carolina. So we dipped out of there, and then I don't even know where we went, DT, but we went to some other place. I don't know the name. And by that time, I was like, you know what? I'm going to quietly order an Uber, and then I'm going to offer it to DT because I'm ready to go back and get back closer to home base.
Yeah, and you didn't have to ask twice. You said, all right, Uber's pulling out. I drink on the table. I'm in it, Rob, because we knew, Sunday was the day. And we put in a shift, man, from the flag football game to the tavern on the tracks to like having a great time. We saw we had pictures with Billy Buffalo. We had pictures with Pinto Ron. It was a good time out there. And Nick, we did leave just in time because Nick was saying they were there till about 8. And it got like scary packed in there, like after dark. Like it was like, you got to watch out so you don't get trampled out here. Like it is like massive crowd. So we got out at the right time. Shout out to Tavern on the Tracks. Great place. I'm sure game day, like you say, it's wild in there.
It's unreal.
And I
Yeah.
bet this week it really was. So yeah, get back to the Crippen household. Game day eve. We got Nate and his buddy Cam were over, and
Yep.
we boys playing in the backyard, playing some
Yep.
wiffle ball. These boys have got some nice
Oh yeah,
junk. I couldn't.
they were striking your ass out.
I stepped up to the dish, and they were putting it right by me. The one time I thought it was coming right at my head, I ducked and it went right down the pipe. So the boy Nate, shout out Nate and Cam, they got some nice junk from the mound.
Yeah, man, it was fun. They had a good time because of the fact that Cam was planning on coming to the game with us. So it's funny. We wake up Sunday, and they're young boys or whatever. They wake up for school and stuff like that, but they know when it's the weekend. So I get up early. DT's telling me that he's up early, and I went to Nate's room, and I'm like, Nate, it's time to get up, man. It's time to get up, and he's kind of stirring around stuff like that. I go downstairs getting some more stuff ready. I come back up. I still don't hear any footsteps. I'm like, Nate, it's time to go, man. What's up, man? I didn't want to wake up Cam because that's his guest and stuff like that. He's not my kid. I go back up that third time. I said, Nate, and I made him wake up. I said, do you want to go or do you want to sleep? I said, you want to go tailgate or you want to go sleep? He said, no, I want to go. I said, it's time for y'all to get up for real. So then it kind of hit him like, oh shit, Dad will leave us. So then I start hearing the feet pattering up there and they all got ready. So we head downtown, Nickel City Crew, or Uptown, they call it again down here in Charlotte. And same thing. Bills Mafia's all over. What we get down there around 9 o'clock?
9:30, and I was like, man, are we late? And nope.
Bills Mafia was there. We find a grass lot. I mean, the parking was ridiculous. The parking was like $80, $100. I mean, it was crazy. So we found a spot that it was reasonable. I think it was like $60 or something like that. And it reminded me of our grass lots, DT. It was funny that we found our way to a lot like that. Nothing but grass, big open lot. We were one of the first people there, so we're literally on the perimeter, which is exactly what we're used to. And DT, same thing, time lapse. The thing just starts filling up and filling up, and the grills start coming out, and the footballs start flying through the air, and it was really amazing. What we decided to do was we wanted to go to the doghouse, which would be like for Nickel City Crew, it'd be like if WGR had their own actual bar, and that's really what it is. WFNZ down here is the equivalent for WGR. They've got their own radio station, talk Panthers all the time, and we knew that the Bills Mafia was going to take that over. Well, down here in Charlotte, you can't serve alcohol on Sundays until 10 o'clock. So when we walked by, we're like, well, let's go to the doghouse. We park the car, lock the car. We walk around. The city is quiet. You know what I mean? Besides Bills fans, it's quiet. We walk by the doghouse. There's nobody there but the workers, and they're grabbing ice and stuff like that. And I'm like, man, there's nobody down here. We start walking around the stadium. And DT, you can count on one hand how many Panthers fans you saw. All we saw was workers at the Bank of America Stadium. I saw maybe one or two. We're walking around. And Bills Mafia, we're all over walking around. And we're just walking around the stadium and nice and slow and throwing the ball with Nate and his buddy Cam. And then all of a sudden, when we get to the backside of the stadium past the train tracks, it was like we were back in Orchard Park, DT. It was, I mean, it wasn't it? It was crazy. It was crazy.
Sir. Yep. We took that nice loop and, quiet on the city side because there's no parking lots, it's just buildings on the one side of the city. And, it was cool kind of seeing the stadium the calm before the storm. And we came down off that hill. And yeah, it was just, tents and cars and, gravel and the smokers going and everything rolling. And it was sick, man. It was, I didn't see it. Like you said, I didn't see a Panther, maybe one rogue jersey from here and there,
around.
But there was no Panther tailgate. It wasn't we park here and we're Panthers fans. It was like a Panthers friend with a bunch of Bills people, So yeah, it was everything that all these people say when we go and take over. This was a full takeover. We came around and we saw the game day Buffalo tailgate, the all-inclusive tailgate for fans when they travel. And I think it's a great idea, right? A lot of people stayed right downtown. They're not driving, so they don't have a place to go park and set up a tailgate. All inclusive. You go, you pay, you go in there and eat and drink all you want. And there had to be 2,000 people there, Rob. It was massive. 2,000 people.
It was wild.
And in there, and we had our stuff set, so we didn't need to. But it's for future reference. If you're ever going somewhere to a game and you're not driving or anything, I would recommend that. It's all inclusive.
I think they said 95 for beer and food, 60 if you just wanted to eat, and then
Yep.
that's not, that's not too bad if you're not,
No, I mean, if
not
you
driving.
think you're paying, we paid what, $50 to park, and you bring your own beer and food, you're well over $90 anyway with that.
Yeah,
So
that's true.
you might
That's
as
true.
this is it's a good deal for future Bills fans. I would recommend it.
Yeah, they had
Everyone
a
I've heard
DJ
that's
out there. They
oh
had
yeah, it was
tents.
bumping.
Yeah, they had
It
everything
was
out there.
bumping. It
So
was nice, and then yeah, we got back to the car and kind of hunkered down there for a little bit. I had
throwing the football.
yep, threw the football with Cam and Nate. We finally met a few Panthers fans next to us. There, yes, some young boys,
Yeah.
but it was a kid. He was born in Buffalo. Now he lives in Charlotte. And he's a big Bills fan, and it was all his buddies that were Panthers fans. And
Yep.
and by then the Yeti had been hitting to old DT, and I was putting on a show for these boys, showing them how we do it up in the rough bump.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
ripped a
yeah.
couple
Shotgunning them.
shotguns, got them down, told these boys this ain't no hobby. This ain't no hobby now, boys. You go in there and have fun, but this ain't no hobby. So
Yeah, they really got a kick out of DT. They were loving them. They were laughing their asses off, enjoying, again, everything that it comes with dump truck and the dump truck experience. If you haven't seen him at the tailgate, he's coming to one near you for the playoffs. Listen, it's funny because as we begin to wrap up on that part of it, DT, it was funny because we get in the car and we're like, all right, it's time to start heading back to the crib. Now,
yeah.
Nickel City Crew, we tried, we looked, we tried. It was going to be now. First of all, we had to get a minimum of 3 tickets, if not 4. And everywhere on the secondary market, they were just hitting us in the head. I'm talking 280 and up. And I'm like, man, we were talking about it on Friday a little bit, then talking about it on Saturday a little bit more seriously. We're like, man, listen, are you going to feel like you're getting robbed if we don't go to the stadium? DT and Olivia kept consistently saying, no, I'm not going to feel that way. This is a great weekend. I'm like, listen, I'm going to fry a turkey. I'm going to host you guys. We can get a couple bottles of liquor and we can leave the tailgate and come back to the house. And it really is going to be a nice experience if you guys want to. I said, if you want to go in, we will go in. I'm your host this weekend. We will go in, but we're going to be sitting up in the nosebleeds, number one. And then number two, it's going to hurt the pockets because they just would not come down on the prices. They wouldn't do it. So because of that, we did make the executive decision to just chill at the house. I already had the turkey shot up. You guys saw that on social media. Shout out to all the supporters of Nickel City Crew. And again, shout out to Olivia Nagel for helping us out with the content. DT, I shot up the turkey. It was ready. When I tell you that DT was on one, y'all, he was on one. He says, he gets in the car, the boys in the car. He said, fuck this WGR shit. I want to hear some Rick Ross. I said, no problem. You know what I mean? I'm the host. Whatever you want, sir. I'm the host. So we're driving. Obviously, no traffic because everybody's coming in to Charlotte. We're going back north, so we didn't have to fight any traffic. We just hop on the highway. I turn it up nice and loud. I've got my 12-year-old and his buddy in the back seat, and they're playing it. DT opens the sunroof. He's like, is it too windy for you back there, boys? And they're like, no, you know what I mean? We're fine. I had a nice volume. Rick Ross is playing. We're enjoying the music. DT cranks it up as we're on 77, cranks it up all the way as loud as my car will go. And now Rick Ross is really bumping and he's really feeling it. He's yelling. Then he decides to turn his back and he starts yelling at my son and yelling at his boy Cam. And you know what I mean? Now I know DT. I know DT. I know that he's having a good time, but I looked up in the rearview mirror and I could see Cam is looking at Nate. And make it like, and then Nate is looking like, Nate is not even looking at me, and then the Cam would like look at me, and this and that. And I knew in their head, like, are these motherfuckers serious? Like, is this what they do? Like, I mean, and when I tell you it was the whole ride home, it didn't take long, but the whole 15, 20 minutes home, DT was bumping Rick Ross, and we were having a great time, man. We were ready to go for the game. DT, you did not disappoint. You even gave my sons the full experience.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Getting back. It was one beautiful day. Let's talk about that. I mean, we're talking like a perfect 72, a nice breeze to kiss your cheek, like a perfect football day, man. It was outstanding weather when it came to that. Get back to the Crippen house, drop the turkey in.
Yep.
Perfect timing, getting ready for game day. Bobby came, so now we had Bobby and Nate over, and we were about to pop it off, man. And kickoff happened, and it was basically a domination from start to finish. James Cook cooked, and it was really no looking back. The defense played well, and the house was jumping. You know, I was right in that seat that you're in here in the Nickel City Crew watching the game and giving the boys high five. The boys taught me how to gritty. So I was we were grittying after
Yeah.
touchdowns.
Yep.
Hey,
Yep.
and
It was
six
funny for me
seven.
because they got to see how another person acts like me. You know what I mean? They always think that I'm the crazy Bills fan, but then when they saw you, then it was like validation. Like, okay, it's not just dad. Like other people are like him and crazy
Yeah.
like him because you were yelling at the TV just like I do and stuff like that, encouraging the defense, Muda chains, all that stuff. So it was funny because it was more validation for me. Like, yeah, y'all think I'm crazy. Like, there's other people like me out there in the mafia that are just as crazy as your father. So it kind of made me feel better because I've scared them a few times as babies, you know what I mean? Because they think I'm so crazy and yelling at the TV and they wondered, is he mad? Is everything okay? Like, yeah, it's fine. I'm just watching the Bills. So it was fun, man. I had an absolute blast. You saw it on Instagram. I posted DT fell asleep in my shed after the game. It kind of hit him a little bit, so he had to take a little cat nap. It was
I
so
gave it my all.
It
Yeah.
was so funny. Winning is hard. I told everybody winning is hard. It takes a lot of effort. DT gave all the effort on Sunday. It was a blast. It really was a blast. We chilled Sunday night, separated for the games, and then after really the night game, DT, we got one day left. Now you were supposed to leave on Monday, but then had to leave on Tuesday. So how did that happen?
We had a little travel mishap, which happens. We when we booked this trip back in, I don't know, the summer at some point, it was at our beach volleyball league, and me, Brett, and Olivia might have had a couple 2-3 before we booked it, and we were like, man, 2 one-ways is cheaper than a round trip. Like that's kind of weird, but hey, we'll take the cheaper flight, right? So we booked 2 one-ways. Well, we booked Buffalo to Charlotte on Friday night. We also booked Buffalo to Charlotte on Monday. So we had a flight to get out of Buffalo to go to Charlotte on Monday. I don't know if you wanted to go for business or what the case was, but you could have went that Buffalo to Charlotte Monday morning. 10:30. There was an open seat on the plane. 3 open seats actually. So we had to reschedule, and then by then when we realized it was
Monday
just
was booked,
nuts. Yeah, everyone, all Bills Mafia was going home, Monday. So there was layovers. It was $1,000 a flight. So we were like, okay, what's Tuesday look like? Tuesday caught a nice 6 a.m.er, good price on it. So we jumped on it. So yeah, so we had a buffer day after game day to kind of get right, and it was rain. Then the weather stopped. It was rainy. It was cold. People were leaving. The dreary weekend was, the weekend was behind us, and the dreary Monday was there. But still had a great day. Still had a great day.
We picked up Brett from his buddy's house
Yep.
in Charlotte, and then we went to Top Golf. And the interesting thing there was that Top Golf had a wait, even though all the bays were not full, but they
Top
had
Golf
a wait.
hates money. Yeah.
So we said, all right, well, we'll sit at the bar. We'll wait. I think they told us to be like an hour. So we, DT's like, I want to hit a couple balls, so we'll wait. So we went to the bar, sat down, and the waitress was there. She was serving a couple, and she served them their drinks, and they had some foods to eat as well. And then she left. We looked to our left. We looked to our left. We saw another some older gentleman there. One was from Buffalo, living down here in Charlotte. Another one was from Rochester, and had come down for the game. I was like, "Oh yeah, my boys are here for the game too." And oh, you guys from Buffalo? Yada yada yada. Okay, it was a great day yesterday. Great day. Look around. The waitress still not around. We're like, okay. All right. Well, I'm like, all right. I'll go to the bathroom. I come back. Waitress is still not around. The bartender, excuse me. And I'm like, all right. And she just never came back. Like, so by the time she comes back, we had already made the decision. I was like, DT's like, fuck this. Like, we're not just going to sit here. And he's like, I'm leaving. I was like, okay, like, let's go. I'm like, I could take you guys to Al's for lunch or whatever the case may be. And he's like, all right. And literally by the time we were like getting up and leaving, she had just come back for the first time. She was legit gone for at least a half hour, 35 minutes. And I don't know where she went. There was nobody manning it behind her. It wasn't mad busy or anything. So it was very, very odd. So Top Golf didn't want our business that day on a Monday.
Top Golf Charlotte hates money.
I guess they do, man. So we went, took him back to Al's because DT enjoyed it so much, and Brett hadn't had a chance to have it. And then that's when I got a chance to meet the owner there at Al's. Shout out to him. And listen, I told him, I'm like, we want to host some shows here. And he was like, you guys have my blessing. We traded numbers. And he was like, just text me whenever you want to do it. And I was like, are you serious? He's like, yeah, man. And I was like, I want to be right in there in that corner. So we're going to get on that for you guys, Nickel City Crew. We're going to start hosting from Al's here and there. Well, I will be while DT's back in Buff. And I want to do that because I think that that'll help out with fan engagement and stuff like that. So doing some live shows. So it was cool. He had some war stories about his days back in Buff. I think he was from kind of near your area.
Right? Olean, he said.
Olean, okay. Yep. So that was really cool. And then we came back to the house after lunch, chilled for a little bit, got some dinner, cooked up, and that was really it, man. By then it was really time to wind down. By the time Monday Night Football was on and winding down, and I mean, I just had the absolute best time, DT. I couldn't have drawn it up any better, and I definitely can't. I could say with a straight face going into the game, it didn't dampen anything for me. I mean, we would have been up there with the rest of Bills Mafia, but it wasn't that. So I had just as much fun here at the house. I really did. It was a great time. Turkey was perfect. Like everything was perfect.
I agree. I think it almost worked out better. I mean, to the situation of we were in it. We were in the Bills Mafia all weekend. We saw the vibe. We saw the action. So like, what did we want to do? Go in the stadium to see that? We saw it all weekend. And what instead we got were those, with the boys and the Rick Ross in the car and dropping the turkey in your house and grittying in your living room after a touchdown. Like that shit is stuff you'll never forget, and the boys will never forget. Now we were joking, man, the Monday lunch table talk had to be
like my dad and his friend.
My dad had a wacko over this weekend.
Yeah. I love it.
Yeah. So no, it worked out great. Again, Rob, thanks for hosting. You did a great job. Great Bills weekend, top to bottom. It sucks we gotta wait, and not that we gotta wait 8 years for me to come to Charlotte again, but it sucks that we gotta wait 8 years for the Mafia to be back down there. And shit, it's a can't miss now. Next time Bills are in Charlotte, we're there 100%. That was live. That was fun.
So much fun.
It worked out great. Got to see a little bit of everything, and the biggest thing was 5-2.
Yeah, and shout out to Queen City Vintage again. Tonight's episode is presented by Queen City Vintage. I mean, listen, the partnership with Nikki and with Kai, like those guys are top notch. DT already talked about it. Their pop up was like official. It was perfect. And I was literally walking around Tavern that morning as people were starting to filter in, and it was getting a little bit busier before it got full throttle. And I was like, alcohol plus money. I'm like, you know what I mean? I'm like, they're gonna gobble your shit up, dude. He was like, I know, we're gonna make a killing. I mean, the Bills, Bills fans, the Mafia, we start drinking, and he's got good quality stuff. I mean, like I said, all of your nostalgic stuff. He gave me a cool shirt that I got to show you guys before we get out of here. It's like a farewell tour shirt, like a concert. It's got some cool stuff on the front. I got to show you guys that. And like, it was just a really, really dope weekend. And so shout out to Queen City Vintage as well. Nikki and those guys, Kai, they're doing a great job. Again, check them out. Queen_City_Vintage_716 on Instagram. They've got the stuff that you need, man. And they've got cool stuff for sure. And I know that Bills Mafia was gobbling it up there in Charlotte.
I'll tell you what, they keep winning too. This weekend, they have partnered with Wayland Brewing, one of the biggest up-and-coming breweries in Orchard Park. Jeremy White on GR talks about it like it's like he lives there. The place is up. It's nice. It's cool. It only heard good things about it. They've partnered up with them. Queen City Vintage releasing their own beer tomorrow.
What?
The Queen City Vintage, it's called a Welcome to Buffalo Game Day Smasher or something with the Queen City can. And the way Nick is describing it, he says it's a game day crusher. So it's a nice light beer with a little touch. It's not a lime beer, but it's got that little touch of citrus in it to make it flow. Easy. So so they're releasing those at the store tomorrow, partnering with Wayland Brewing. So I'm going to be down there, getting my case to support the boys seeing if it's good, seeing if it shotguns as good as the rest of them.
I love it. Yeah, man. Queen City Vintage, we really appreciate their support. And like I said, Nick's been really good to us, and we've been good to him too. But the partnership has just really worked well. So we appreciate their support. DT, as we transition and we begin to wrap up tonight, I almost named the episode "Here We Go Again" because it's just like it's death, taxes. Bills Chiefs. It just happens every year the way that the divisions line up and you play the team in your slot. We're always ended up in first place with each other. This year it's a little bit different because the Bills and Chiefs are not in first place, both of us respectively, but same thing. This is probably going to be a game, DT, that when we look back on it at the end of the year, it's probably going to be have some significance to it. Like, you're going to be able to look back at that Chiefs game and be like, okay, this was important, win or loss. Like, this was an important game. And I feel like I wanted to get your gauge on it, because sometimes now Mafia members, and I'm definitely, I was guilty of it last year for sure. We become a little bit apoplectic to it. Like, whatever, it doesn't matter. All that matters is the postseason and stuff like that. And that's true to a certain extent, but I think that there's a chance that we also are trying to guard ourselves because of the fact that we beat these MFs every year in the regular season and then lose in the playoffs. So you're trying to psych yourself out. You know what I mean? Well, it's not that big of a deal. Let's try to downplay it a little bit. I really do think, DT, that with the way that New England has come on, we've got Denver out there out west. This could be a game that you circle that, like, wow, that Bills Chief game was a big deal, man. Like, we didn't maybe realize it back then, but it was for seeding. Even the number 1 seed, who knows what the Colts do? This game could loom large down the road.
Yeah, obviously, right? And that, like, last year was a little more. This game don't matter. It don't matter. We always beat them in here and then don't have them in the playoffs. This year, I think I'm a little offended by the vibe of the Mafia in this year, Rob. I'll be honest. It's extrememely negative. I don't know if you felt this, but I think it's very negative in the Mafia. It's like, well, yeah, we beat the Panthers, but the Chiefs are a lot better. We're going to get carved up by the Chiefs. Like, we are, scarred from the drought, and nothing is ever good enough. And
we lost two in a row. We lost two in a row.
Ugly 2 losses, and we come back and a Chiefs team that's kind of started the season down, but now is on their rise, and they look as good as they've ever been. So I see what people are saying, but at the same time, you
understand where we're coming from, because I'm one of those fans that I'm not sure about Sunday. I don't know.
But like, so what? So like, that's telling me like you didn't believe we were a contender in August. You didn't believe we were a contender in September. No. You didn't believe we were like. So that's my point of this.
The information that I'm given. I think that there's something wrong with the passing offense, DT. There's something wrong. We saw it last week against Carolina, even though they did not need it. Shout out to James Cook, 216 yards. He's all world. I love him. We always praise him and sing his praises here. There's something wrong with the passing offense. When we have to pass it, can we? And I think that that's a valid question that a lot of members of the Mafia have, DT. And I'm definitely one of them. We did not. You heard Keon Coleman say it after the game. You heard Josh Allen say it after the game. You heard damn near Joe Brady say it after the game. Well, we didn't need to. If the Chiefs stop the run and we have to pass it, I have concerns. And I think that that's valid.
Okay, we can have concerns, but I just like the whole vibe of like this, like, oh, we're gonna get like straight up mauled by this team. Like I just can't get there yet. And if we do, I'm wrong. And yes, there's problems we need to address. Okay, but we're not even halfway through the season yet, and we're contenders in August. We beat the Baltimore Ravens, who have had a weird year, but I think they're gonna still, Lamar's back now and threw 4 touchdowns last night. They might still be a problem later. It just, we blow teams out. We get through the first couple games. We lose a tough divisional game to now this AFC opponent. The New England Patriots might be battling for the division, might be a top team in the AFC. Drake May is unstoppable right now. We lose to them at home with the lead in the fourth quarter, with 3 turnovers, 1 in the red zone, with 11 penalties. That's a tough divisional loss. Those happen in the NFL. We didn't play great. We could have played better. The passing game could have looked better. Sure. But that's a tough loss.
Get the next week against Atlanta.
Next week in Atlanta was unacceptable. You just got the shit kicked out of you in all facets of the ball. Offense, defense, the line of scrimmage, the passing game, the running game, the linebackers, the defensive backs, and special teams. Everybody got beat that night. So and then like problems with the passing game of those games before that, we scored 30 points. So yes, it doesn't look right. I will give you that. But this team has found ways to win, and this team does find ways to be there at the end of the year. And we do have 17. 17 hasn't looked 17 other than that fourth quarter, against the Baltimore Ravens. But shit, on Sunday, he threw for 166 yards and had 3 touchdowns, 2 rushing, 1 passing. Like, a lot of quarterbacks in the NFL don't give you 3 touchdowns a week. And yes, it wasn't 305, but it was 3 touchdowns from your starting quarterback, and you won 40-9. So I get it.
We didn't need it. I give you that. We didn't need it.
But I get it. But I also think, like, if we are contenders, we are the betting favorite in Vegas to be contenders. after a couple of weeks of not looking great, I don't think the Chiefs coming to town just makes us say, "Oh, we're getting killed now." And that's what I'm trying to fight against with Bills Mafia right now. Like, what? Like, this is the NFL now. Like, this is, you're gonna get beat. You're gonna get knocked in the mouth a little bit. But we
Mhm.
do have 17, and 17 has shown us he can ball out and win games for us. And the defense that doesn't look good sometimes comes out and plays good. So I just am not.
Hoyt came back. That
I
helped
got
out.
to
That
keep the
looked good.
confidence. I got to keep the ball rolling. We're 5-2 coming back home against a team we beat in the regular season every year. Like, I'm confident about this game. Yes, we don't look the best. The passing offense doesn't look the
It
best,
does.
but we're not even halfway through the season, and we do have 17 to break out. We
Well,
do
then
have a
half.
team
I mean,
that's five
okay,
and two.
no problem. Half
So
the fan base is
so I'm
clamoring
not
is
I'm not
clamoring for a
calling any
receiver.
whistle. I'm not calling any bell until I see us get our ass kicked Sunday. Then you can come at me all you want on Nickel City or whatever. But I'm not calling any bell. We got the boy. We got a 5-2 ball club. We're contenders. Yes, we haven't looked outstanding and perfect, but this is a game I think we get up for and take care of.
I'm not refuting anything, and I'm not gonna sit here and pour water on your fire in that respect. I think that what do I always, I pride myself on being a realist. I pride myself on being I'm a Bills Mafia fanatic, but I try to be a realist. I think that Kansas City is playing some of the best ball in the league right now. That their last games, they've really brought it. They've got all of their pieces back now. We haven't really seen this offense fully formed with Rice and Worthy and Hollywood Brown, and you know what I mean. Like, they've got all of their guys now, and it's showing on the field. So I think that it's going to be a team that you're going to have to score with. Now, yes, Hoyt came back last week. For the Bash Brothers, he looked great. I'm playing with his hair on fire. Everything that he was advertised to be in free agency, he was on last Sunday, and it definitely showed against the Panthers. Same thing. It was great to see Mad Max out there get his first action. I was surprised that he played. I was happy that he played. Even gave Hancock some snaps out there instead of Poyer to let that rookie in the safety room get some reps, because that Taylor Rapp is out for a little bit. Listen, all of those things on the defensive side of the ball are positive. It's my number one question is that when we have to throw the ball, can we? We literally just did an episode last week on Joe Brady. I am not confident in him. I heard something this morning that kind of shook me on WGR, and I hadn't thought of it this way. So I'm not trying to pour water on your parade, DT. Sneaky Joe on WGR said, and you know how I'm a Dable guy. He said, let me list all the receivers that played their best football under Brian Dable and his offense, his tutelage. Obviously Josh Allen's the quarterback. He's a quarterback, period. So let's take him out for a minute. Under Dable's scheme, Diggs played the best football of his life. Gabe Davis played the best football of his life. Cole Beasley played the best football of his life. On and on. I mean, I know Sanders was getting old, but Sanders was balling when he was here. Everybody playing the best football of their life under Brian Dable. Who can you say that about with Brady? And I mean, and Jeremy White tossed back. He was like, Shakir, and he's like, is that the end of the list? And I was like, shit. My point is that I'm concerned about Brady. Listen, what did he do? We talked about it when he came in for Dorsey. After Dorsey was fired, he was trying to cover the bandage. He was trying to stop the bleeding. So he stops the bleeding. What was one of the effects of stopping the bleeding? Stephon Diggs disappeared. If you remember in the beginning of that year, he had a 100-yard game after 100-yard game. He was one of the top receivers in the league. This is the last year. This is right before the breakup, right before the divorce. Joe Brady comes in. He's the least efficient wide receiver in the sport. Least efficient. I mean, yards per route run, all that other stuff, all the metrics. He couldn't get him the ball, or kept throwing him those stupid bubble screens. So my question is, does Joe Brady know how to get the best out of those receivers? Well, everybody's clamoring for a receiver, to come on. And I want one too. I want a Shaheed. I want somebody fast to take the top off the defense. Mm-hmm. I still want to know and have confidence that my OC knows how to get those guys the ball. If a team is committed to stopping Cook, which obviously is the engine of our offense right now, obviously outside of Josh Allen, do we have the passing game answers? I'm not sure of that. And if it's a shootout on Sunday, that's the only thing I mean. DT, yes, we're a good team. Yes, Kansas City's not world beaters, but I don't know if we can keep scoring with those guys on Sunday.
That's fair. That's fair. But that just juices me up. That gets me excited. Now that's going to force us to do it. And you're going to see 17 hang it out there. And you're going to see, okay, yeah, that's us. That's why he's the MVP. That's our guy. That's why out of a 70,000 seat stadium, there's 60,000 Buffalo Bills fans Sunday.
Mhm.
So that's what gets me juiced up. I love it. I would love to see the passing game roll. I need that fantasy number to get up. Let's get Khalil Shakir some 1,000 yards. Let's get people off Keon Coleman's ass of being a bust.
Yeah, man,
Let's
they've
see
been
it.
riding them
So
hard.
yeah, let's see it. So that punch me. I agree. That's a good point. But we gotta level up. We gotta level up if we're content. The window is not the window. The window is only. I don't know what I'm even saying, but like this is it. Like
The
this
ceiling
is
is the
it.
roof. I love it. I love it. I
This is
love it.
it. So we gotta level up. We gotta level up. Roll that ball out and talk with the pads.
Yeah, man. I mean, yeah, I'm encouraged by the defense. I know it's the Panthers. I know it's Andy Dalton, stuff like that. But again, I was encouraged
Yeah,
by what I
couldn't
saw.
even throw for 200. Loser.
Oh man, we had our parlay. Our parlay almost hit. That would have been really nice. I mean, yeah, it would have. I listen. I respect the Chiefs. I don't fear the Chiefs anymore or anything like that. But they do look like they're starting to roll again. And I just know that we might be in a situation where we've got to score some points. Hopefully, we can. And we'll see. We'll see. I mean, I'm not afraid of them, but I do think that they're playing pretty good football right now. So we'll see. James Cook is still that dude. What a performance, DT, as we close tonight. What a performance! Every time I get a chance to remind people that like a portion of the mafia wanted him out of town because he asked for a raise and then skipped practice. A portion of you guys did say it. You guys can try to hide now and say, no, I didn't. No, I didn't. I saw it all over Twitter. Get his ass out of here. Could you imagine what the Bills offense would look like without four? Jimbo is a beast, DT. He's a beast, man. The way he runs the ball, he's a beast.
Elusive man, and he's increased his inside the tackle running, and with that shifty, he's looking kind of like Shady through those holes. And like back in the day, is Shady getting to that second level and busting up through the linebackers? Like that's what he's doing in the middle. He was an outside guy. Now he's a little more involved. Let's talk about the passing game, getting more involved into that, increasing that
nice.
facet of the game, and
Yeah,
I think he could really be a weapon. So kudos to 4. Career high, 216, 2 tutties.
Could have had 300 if we were in a close game. Could have had 300.
Easy.
He could have had 300. He was carving up the Panthers, man. So yeah, there are some encouraging signs from last week. The defense, like I said, Hoyt and Mad Max back. I'm looking to see another step from those guys this week. Listen, Patrick Mahomes, keep him in the pocket. He's been running more this year. Keep his ass in the pocket. Touch him. Can somebody touch him? Ed Oliver gone. What a big loss that's going to be. I'm really hoping. Shout out to Ed Oliver. We know Marcus Oliver, his big brother, a friend of the show. We're hoping that Ed gets a speedy recovery. We are going to need him for a Super Bowl run. Make no mistake about it.
Yes, sir.
You will need 91 in the middle of that defense for a Super Bowl run. So, DT, man, I had a blast. Listen, what's your schedule for the weekend? Let's take us through a quick Nickel City Crew tailgate report. What do you got scheduled? Because Sunday 425, I know where I'll be.
I gotta go quiet, man. I gotta go quiet. This October was insane. This October was insane.
Wedding.
I've just been looking at my computer all week, like it's like my first time reading English, and it's I gotta take some time. So we're gonna chill. We're gonna see, hopefully get a few trick or treaters tonight.
Yeah.
Maybe hit a little silent disco. That's what's in the works.
Okay.
See what that's about.
Okay.
Watch a lot of college ball tomorrow.
Yep.
And then I don't know. I don't have plans yet for the game. I don't know. I want to stay quiet. I'm thinking that, Big Ben is in my one of my fantasy football leagues, and we do if you get last place that week, you got to send a beer chug video to the fantasy league.
Okay.
And Big Ben was last week, so he already prefaced. He said mine will be DT's gonna film mine at the tailgate. I haven't told him I'm not coming, but it might be. I'm not going to the game unless I score some last tickets, but it might be a nice day to maybe go down, see the squad at the tailgate, and then kind of do what we did in Charlotte, just pop back for the game. But we'll see. I'm open. I'm gonna try to really get some years of my life back this weekend.
Yeah, you have had a crazy October for sure down here in Charlotte. We've got Quincy's last flag football game tomorrow. So go out. The Bears need to go out on a winning note. We definitely are in a position where we should win the league. I don't think we've only lost one game, so there should be no other team that can contend with us. They don't do playoffs or anything like that, so we should get our championship trophies tomorrow. I'm expecting another win. And then we've got Bobby's got a soccer game. I forgot to shout out to Bobby. I forgot last week, DT. Bobby had a hat trick.
Yeah,
the morning Before you came, and I forgot to shout it out, man. So shout out to my oldest king, Bobby.
Bobby
Had a hat trick in soccer, including a header. He said it hurt my head a little bit. He said, but it was worth it. I was like, that's what's up. So shout out to Bobby. Had a hat trick. So he's got a soccer game. Quincy's got his last flag football, and then after that, it's slow motion. You have Princess Ivy over. It's my day, and we're just gonna relax. Like you said, watch some college football. Pick over the candy, steal some of the kids' candy. I know Nate and Bobby are going out tonight, and Quincy as well. So steal some of their candy and share it with Ivy for sure. I'm sure she's going to be all in my mouth trying to get some, and then we'll just chill, man. Sunday, it is slow motion. 4:25 is a little bit better for me. I like that because then my mornings are chill. I can cook them breakfast, and then I can get the house clean, and then the game's on at 1, and I'm not stressed out. So I like that 4:25 window. Don't know what I'm going to cook yet. We'll figure it out on the fly on Sunday. Might just do some pizza or something like that and keep it simple. I've been cooking. You know what I mean? Like, it takes a lot out of you, DT, those tailgates and everything. I remember I was like, damn, I used to do this every week or every other week, and plus driving back and forth. I'm like, man, I was a madman back in the day. So we'll lay low, but we will be right here at the Crippen household watching that game. 4:25. I mean, all eyes will be glued, man. I really do think it's going to be a big game that we will look back and say this was a pivotal point in the season for sure. There's just something about it. I feel like it'd be.
Set a tone, litmus test.
I mean, you
beat
them. You beat them. That's 4 losses. I don't know how many they could really take. I mean, I expect them to be in the playoffs, but that's a lot of losses for a team, and it's only halfway through the year. So let's ding them up and do a little bit of damage to them, and maybe put them behind the 8 ball. They already got Denver they're dealing with. Let's put them behind the 8 ball a little bit more. That's kind of how I'm looking at it.
6-2. 6-2.
I love it. Listen, out there, spread love, not hate. Be good out there. We've got the trick-or-treaters out there. Please be mindful of them. I know it's getting ready to get dark. Don't forget, the clocks go back tomorrow. It's fall back, so you get an extra hour of sleep if you want it. But please be mindful of the kids out there on those streets as it gets dark. Don't anybody hit any kids or anything like that. My kids are out there too. But listen, spread love, not hate. These were my Bills thoughts said out loud. Hit them with a Go Bills, DT. I had a blast, man. It was so good to see you, man. I can't
Thanks
wait
again, Rob.
I can't wait for the playoffs.
Love you. Love Charlotte. Can't wait for it again. Go Bills. 6-2.
I love it. Go Bills.